How's it going, guys? Welcome to the FM Dugout for episode 15 of Restoration Project Rangers, which sees us now in February 2017 with our Europa League first knockout round, first leg against Malmo. And looking forward to this. So what's happened since the last time? Well, there's been 16 games that have taken place, and we finally lost the game domestically. It wasn't in the league, as you can see. It wasn't in the League Cup. We've made the final of that. It was actually in the Scottish Cup 5th round away to Inverness Cali Thistle. It was actually the last game before this one. Fairly even match. Could have gone either way, and unfortunately Cali Thistle scored late on in the game. Diego Laurent making a bit of a mistake after coming on. So yeah, we've lost our first game after a year and a half. So a bit disappointed I can't defend the Scottish Cup this year and go for back-to-back trebles. But hey ho, we move on anyway. So obviously now we're in February. Things have happened in the transfer market. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, so we've made quite a few signings. We've had 5 signings, 2 of which we knew were coming already. So Marcus Mathieson from Copenhagen, decent looking prospect, 20-year-old central defender. I am pretty excited about having him here. He's also a defensive midfielder should it be required. To get him for nothing is fantastic. Then Marco Ramkeld, an 18-year-old Danish striker. Probably not in the same sort of bracket as Mathieson, but he looks as though he could develop, and certainly him and Hardy in the future might be good enough to take over up front for us. Then we had 3 signings totaling, what is that? It's about 6.5 million nearly. No, not 6.5 million, 5.5 million. I got my maths wrong there. So first up was João Carlos Teixeira from Liverpool, and for 500k, 6k a week. Pretty excited about this. He's now just turned 24 last month, was 23 at the time, and I think he falls into the same sort of category as signings like Tavernier, Waghorn, Kieran and so on. Guys who just haven't really found a home. They have talent, but they just need to get games in order to showcase that, and I think Teixeira will do just that here. So far he's had 7 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, 7.44 and 75% pass completion. So he started fairly well once he's got his match sharpness up, and yeah, that's good. Next up is Alex Pritchard. Now it shows him as a winger. We have made a change to the tactics. I've actually pulled the wingers in and I'm playing 3 attacking midfielders, so he can play there as well. Maybe not quite as comfortable, but we're going to train him up to play there. But what I've been trying to do is find players that can play in the middle and wide. So you'll see that Teixeira, if we go back into him, he can play across that line as well. And it gives us that flexibility to change things during the match. But Pritchard, quite chuffed with this one. Managed to get him on a deal worth 2.6 million. It was about 1.8 up front, and I can't remember what the clauses were afterwards. Where do we find it? Club. I'm going the wrong way here, aren't I? Where on earth are we? Transfers, yes, clauses. This where we are, right? So Pritchard, there's 4 clauses. So 15% of the next fee will go to Pritchard himself. 20% will go to Spurs, 500k after 50 league appearances, so that was the majority of where we were paying the additional piece, and then also 25k a month for the next 11 months. So it was a fairly 10% of Lewis McLeod, maybe he'll get sold. It was a fairly sort of hefty price to pay to get him, but I think he's well worth it. Again, you know, he's 23 years old, turns 24 in May, just looking again for a team where he can call home, and I think that's what we'll have. And finally, I have someone with free kick taking in, you know, the upper teens, so really quite happy with that. We will, as I say, be playing him primarily as an advanced playmaker, and as you can see, his skills match up with that, so I've absolutely no problem in playing him there. He's not done too well so far in the first 2 games, only getting 6.9, but it's early doors, and we'll see how things progress. And last but not least is Matej Mitrovic, signed him from Rijeka. He was just there in my my player search when I was looking for central defenders, and he looks like a cracking player. 23 years old, got high hopes for him. However, he picked up a groin strain in the game against Inverness Cali. He is also cup tied in UEFA Europa League. He's played pretty well there, 7.23 in 10 appearances. So again, as I say, I'm pretty hopeful in that. 7k a week, maybe a little bit pricey. You can see we're spending a bit more on players now, but that's what will happen as we try to sort of ramp up the ability. So what I am also doing at the moment is clearing out the players who are now at the kind of bottom of the pile, and we've actually agreed to sell Omar Rowe to NYCFC actually in 6 days time for 475k. He's one of the first guys to go out. We've also sent a number of players out on loan. There's a few contracts that are due for renewal. If I take a quick look at those, we have Chandler now is the only one in the first team squad. I am not going to be renewing his contract because we now have Sultan back and he has a work permit, and boy is he a good player. He's really good, so he's taken over from Lee Wallace as his first choice left back. The other players that will be going, most likely Tom Walsh, Andy Halliday, Andy Murdoch, and there was someone else, Ryan Cinnamon. Yeah, so those boys will be leaving in the summer, and they go on with my best wishes, but to be honest, they just didn't have the quality. If we were still in the Championship, fair enough, but we're at the top end of the league. We're now, how many points clear? 18 points clear of Celtic. So it looks as though Champions League football, at least in terms of qualifying for it, is going to be on the cards for next year. And with that being the case, I really need players that are going to step it up. So we have to try and cut people out. As I say, Omar Rowe is away because we have now moved to this more central tactic, and we've got guys that can cover there. We've got Tajira, we've got Pritchard can play there, we've got Mackay, Waghorn, we've got Lazo, Ross Lyon on the right, who's away on loan at the moment. So we definitely have options there. I think Casey Palmer can also play. Yeah, he can also play wide as well. So we're just trying to build a versatile midfield that I can sort of have a high degree of fluidity during games and also out with it to keep things fresh. So yeah, that's how that's gone. In terms of the 16 games, the ticker has the details as usual, but did have a comment just saying it's difficult to follow it. So here we are. This is where we finished up our last game, and since then went a good run. Wins away to Aberdeen, Bate 3-0 win there. 2 goals late on, making it look very comfortable, and then a big win away from home against Celtic, a 5-2 win. That was the one where I was thinking I would do a live comm on it, but there'd only been 3 games, so I went against it and immediately regretted not doing it. And then after that great win, a 0-0 draw at home to Hibs, a narrow 1-0. You can see the margin of wins were pretty low. Then we played Thistle. Now I'll just show you this. This is the team we played. So we had Boer, Knudsen, Laurent, Sultan, I think that was his first game. Thompson, Volks, Palmer, Tajira, who wasn't yet fit, Ramkild up front. So it was a weakened team, but it was still more than good enough. We should have won it the first time round. We finished off the job the second time round with a 3-0 win. Yeah, fairly comfortable wins there. Went through on penalties against Hearts. Dominated the game, should have won it in normal time. But Waghorn, Pritchard, Palmer and Tunnicliffe scoring to put us through 4-3. So we're through at least to the League Cup final. Hopefully we can win that. Say the game against Cali Thistle showed this earlier. A little bit disappointing to say the least that we went out, but I'm sure we'll be back next year. So today sees us play Malmo, and the next episode will probably just cover the second leg, and will be a nice short episode since there's no transfer window kind of news to go over. Funnily enough, in case you missed in the ticker, the money for those signings came in because I asked the board and they gave me 7.3 million, which is quite a lot considering we only had about 10 million in the bank at that point. So I haven't spent it all. But I just felt we wanted to get some players in, maybe to help a little bit with the European push, but to get them embedded for next year. So yeah, not long left in the season now. Hamilton actually put out Celtic, so that will be the League Cup final. So I'll do a live comm there. If we make it through against Malmo, then it'll be either Anderlecht or Valencia, and again I'll look to do a live comm on that. So anyway, guys, whistle stop tour of how things have been going, but let's get on to the main event, the game against Malmo, and we've got a bit of rejigging to do here. Rob Kiernan has started to play better now. Just had a number of games under his belt and he seems to have improved dramatically. We've got Jason Holt suspended. If you remember that game against Roma where he got sent off early on, he's actually been given an additional 2-match ban. So he will sit this one out. As I say, Omar Rowe here is on his way to NYCFC. So, I mean, he's not amazing. You can see, you look at the skills there and you look at Tajira, for instance, right? And there's just a subtle difference there. Then you look at Pritchard and you see the skills there. So you can see that we're stepping up. Rowe was good enough for the Championship, not so much here. Same sort of thing for Banny Mackay. But he, I think, will still have a role to play. And the fact that he was a youth at the club as well will help for, obviously, the European registration, which can be a bit of a pain to say the least. We'll put Lazo on the bench because McCarthy looks as though he's played for the reserves. I think that's us here. There's nothing else I want to do. Danny Wilson. Yep. Jordan Thompson has now established himself as a first team regular and he's doing pretty well, so fairly pleased with that. Okay, let's get this show on the road and see whether or not we can get a result away from home against Malmo and give ourselves a nice easy second leg. Don't care. Right, so they're just going with a standard 4-4-2. We've got Rosenberg, Berger, don't really know any of the other names. So, point to prove. I'm going to say go out and impress me. I did look to sign a striker by the time it got to the end of that transfer window though, and the money had kind of dried up a little bit. There weren't that many options available, and anyone I was looking at was quite expensive. I did actually, I hate to say it, look at Jason Cummings, just because he's an annoying player. He knows how to find the net. So Hibs just didn't want to play ball. They were looking for about 3 million for him, and that was just far too much in my book. He's only worth 600k. So I went as high as 1.2 and that was it. I wasn't going any higher. Anyway, here's a chance. Skov heads it into Longo, smashes it home from about 6 yards there. Great start for us. 4 minutes in, looking very, very comfortable already. Let's see if we can keep it. There we go. Fotheringham, right, surely will send this out wide to someone. No, he's just launched it up looking for Longo. Kills it dead, but nobody else around him. Pritchard picks it up. Infield to Palmer. Tajira forward to Thompson. Finds Longo. Can he finish? He hits the post. And that would have been us 2-0 up in 10 minutes. And I would have been ecstatic if that had gone in. But it wasn't to be. But yes, it looks good so far. As I say, the formation change was one of those things. The last episode I did mention things were kind of getting a little bit stale, and I just wanted to freshen things up, and I do feel the 3 central attacking midfielders has given us something a little bit better, and we seem a little bit stronger defensively as well. Skov now with the effort, and it's saved there by Willand. Skov does know how to score spectacular goals, as we saw against Athletic earlier this season. So I don't mind him trying to shoot. And Palmer now with the effort. Keeper saves again. Skov picks it up. Knocks it back to Wallace. Palmer again. Can't get the shot away this time. Kiernan, great interception there. And we recycle our chance. Will we get another goal? Tajira looking for Skov. Can't get there. And it's put out for a throw. 63% possession after 20 minutes away from home. and we are the dominant side in this game, but we just need to make sure that we do get a bigger advantage than 1 goal. We have been punished for it in Europe, and we've also been punished for it domestically. So we just got to make sure we can actually capitalise on the pressure. As Berger will play it in from the corner, Anderson chases it down, and Malmo now retreat to try and work another chance. Here comes Chibiki. Berger can't get there, and it's now a goal kick to us about halfway through the first half. So things going very well at the moment. Let's see if we can keep it up. And Chibiki will go out wide to Vindheim, in to Berger. I don't know if it's Berger or Berget. I feel like it should be Berger, but oh dear. Jeez, we got lucky there. Off the inside of the post, and the rebound's put away. This is exactly what we need to be careful of. Header away, Gabrielson plays it back to Vindheim. 3 Rangers players going for the ball there. Really not very well coordinated at the back. Wallace now with the throw, looking for Tajira, can't find him. Palmer now, Pritchard, long goal. Oh, and it just clips the top of the net or the bar, I don't know which it was it hit. It certainly hit something on its way over. Berger with the free kick, and it's not troubling Fotheringham at all. But you can see this game feels a little bit nervy. Anytime they have a highlight, it could easily go to 1-1. We've got a lot of possession, a lot of chances. Can Longo now capitalise? No. Another save from the keeper. So having a decent game today. Wasn't much he could do about the first goal, but he's certainly played well since then. Alright, half time. Yeah, I mean, you can't really say anything else. Yeah, we should have had more goals, but you can't say you're not happy with how they've played, because they have played well. I just hope that we can get ourselves second. Could definitely get if we could get a third, then I'd say we'd definitely be safe in terms of getting through to the next round. 3 away goals, as long as we don't do anything stupid, kamikaze like Jason Holt getting sent off after 10 minutes, then we should be alright. But yeah, for now we have to try and get some more goals here. Pritchard hits the corner really deep to Thompson. Tajira, Skov now into the box, left-footed shot straight at the keeper, and another corner for us. Pritchard will take this, whips it in towards the front post. It's cleared away. Skov now. Tajira with the shot. The keeper has made yet another save, and Pritchard loses out there as the ball gets cleared, and now Rosenberg will look to break on the counter. Blue shirt surging forward now. Tavernier will head it away. Pritchard away again, and the chance is over. So decent defending there from Tavernier. And right, okay, we're at the 60-minute mark. I don't really feel like I want to change anything. There's a goal coming. We just need to get past that goalkeeper. Tajira now plays it through to Longo. He's up on his own. Thompson spreads it out wide to Wallace. Tries to get to the byline. Cuts it in to Palmer. Blocked shot. Yeah, another blocked shot. Okie doke. Tajira's at 6.9. Lazo's not 100% fit, but I think I might bring him on. I didn't think Tajira was playing that bad. He seems to have had a fair few sort of chances. Complacency from Thompson. I am not a fan of complacency. Let's bring on Tunnicliffe. I really don't like complacency. I mean, when you're 1-0 up away from home in the Europa League, that is not the time to be complacent. If you're up 5-0 at home to, I don't know, East Kilbride or something like that in the Scottish Cup, then fair enough. Maybe you can be forgiven for being complacent. Thompson might have a bit of an attitude problem with him complaining about first team football and that, but certainly got the ability, as Lazo just lashes a right-footed shot wide of the post there. And I just hope these missed chances don't come back to haunt us either in this game or the next. As Malmo, with 15 minutes left on the clock, tried to get another chance. Tunnicliffe with the header away. It's played back in. Lazo plays it back out. Lundgren to Annan. Anderson back to Annan. All the way back to Gabrielson. Launch forward looking for Faddy. He finds Rosenberg, and there's a bit of a mix up in the box there, but we come away with it. Now Rosenberg's one-on-one and he puts it wide. That was a glaring chance for Malmo there. And certainly that should be a wake-up call for the team. They really need to step up. And Rosenberg gets in between the two centre-backs, plays it wide to Berget. Gets by Wallace, and Wallace fouls him. And that was that inside the box? Are you serious? Ah, dear. So, penalty. Can Fotheringham save us here with 10 minutes on the clock? Well, 10 minutes left on the clock. Rosenberg. And Fotheringham with the save. What a man. Unbelievable. And do you know what? I'm really quite annoyed that we've let ourselves nearly throw away this game just because we haven't been able to beat their goalkeeper. Malmo will now push again. 89th minute. Fotheringham catches. Can we launch an attack from here? He plays it up the park looking for Longo, but it's not the greatest kick out. Can be forgiven. He saved the penalty after all. And Tavernier wins a corner with a minute left to go. Wallace will whip this in. Lazo just outside the box. Loses out to Faddy. Tunnicliffe. Forward to Lazo. That looked like a rather dangerous challenge there. Not that I'm nitpicking. And Mullins will play this long looking for Rosenberg. Wilson cuts it out, and I think that will be the end of this game. Well, I suppose I can be pleased that we've won, assuming that we do win. Wilson's lost the ball here though. Faddy, Wilson gets it back. There we go, right, so we saw it out, but 59% possession and lots of shots at goal to only come away with 1-0. I do feel a little bit disappointed. It sounds so stupid saying that, you know, they've been out of Europe for 5 years or whatever, and here we are, and I'm complaining because we didn't manage to beat this team by more. We'll definitely need to pick things up in the next leg. We'll need to start quick and get a couple of goals and kill them off, because if they get an away goal early on, that's it, cancelled out. So yeah. Okay, so I'll take care of the Aberdeen game, and then I'll be back in the next episode for a much shorter episode with the second leg against Malmo, and hopefully we can get through to the second knockout round. So guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave a like and a comment. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and until the next time, I'll see you when I see you.